Okay, so as part of your final project, and I should pull those points up again. I'll do that while I'm talking here. One of the other things you're going to have done is include the analytics tracking code in all of your pages. Okay, so it's a cut and paste code that goes into your pages, and you're not going to be able to set this up in the account that you guys have that you're using in your analytics course. You're going to have your own account, and this is definitely worth doing. And the only way to get your pages to start tracking, and I'll show you how much this is worth in the final project here, so that you know, like, I'm kind of one-offing things for you guys now because I mean, one of the key skills with analytics is understanding where to put the code. Now, it is a little different at WordPress. Usually that's done with a plugin, but with the basic HTML site, it's literally cut and paste the code and put it into the head. So this is going to be worth 6 points, okay? Just from cutting and pasting. So you can see here, even though I said, you know, post-test skills, which involve usually a little bit more detailing of your content and kind of, I guess, just scaling up a lot of the things in a website, are worth a lot more than the stuff from before the test. A lot of it is still pretty simple. So nobody has any excuse for not understanding how to make analytics work on a page. You already understand how the whole platform works because you're taking a course on it. I'm just showing you how to connect it to your own website. And I'm giving you 6 points literally for cutting and pasting. So to do this, you're going to need a Google account, okay? You can't do this without your own account. You can't do it with the account from the other course. You're going to have to set, so if you have a Gmail, that's fine. You just set up analytics in your Gmail. Now, ideally, you should be setting up Webmaster Tools, and then as like add-ons to Webmaster, you start using AdWords, you start using analytics. You should set all this stuff up, because if you're going to start creating websites and analyzing your traffic and sorting all that data out, you're going to want to have these things set up in an account anyway. So this would be a first step to that. So if you're logged into Gmail, for example, and I don't even use Gmail with this account, so it's going to ask me to set it up. I'm just logged into Google, okay? And that's how I upload to YouTube too. All these things are all connected to one Google login. Analytics would be the same way. So you need to set up a Google account. I'm not going to demonstrate that in this video. You guys don't need me to demonstrate how to set up an account online. It's just literally typing your name in boxes. So once it's set up, you would then want to go to Google Analytics while you're logged into that account. So they've sort of changed the platform and where you get to it. It used to be analytics.google.com. Now it's google.com/analytics. If you go into it and you've never used it before, it's going to ask you to set it up, right? And again, you're just going to literally just say, I want to start using analytics. It's going to walk you through a few prompt pages, and then you're going to get to the page that looks like this. Okay, so you guys have set up analytics. You've done this before. You know how it works. What you're going to do now is set up an additional website in your account and put that tracking code into your page. I do want to see that your tracking code is unique for each student. I want you guys to have gone through the process at minimum in this course of at least setting up the analytics platform for yourself, not just in Megan's course, and actually having the code to put into your page. So here I have all accounts showing, okay, and of course they've changed the platform again. So from here, hang on one. Okay, so this is worth watching. So I've gone into my analytics account, which includes a couple, like a previous account that I was doing with a live client, and then 3 times that I've set it up in a web course to show the students how to get the code and move it. So the accounts haven't gone anywhere, even though they keep changing the platform. But I wanted this to look somewhat like yours, so I'm going to get rid of these accounts. So you're going to see me at least delete accounts, which is kind of helpful, because you might make accounts in this. You're going to make this account, and you're probably not going to want to leave your final project sample account in there when you actually start using analytics. So you would go to admin, and you can switch from account to account here in admin. If you go to account settings in admin and go down here, you can delete the account. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of these accounts because I really don't need any of them. And then I should have something that looks like what you guys have if you've just set up analytics. Okay. Get rid of this one. Admin, account settings, delete this account. and then this last one. So then I'll have no accounts. Okay, we're already there. Account settings. Okay, so that was kind of neat. Deleting accounts. Okay, so here we are. So is this what it looked like? Okay, so if you want to start using analytics, that's good that I actually was able to do that in the video. This is where you're going to get to if you haven't used it before, okay? So what you're going to do is go and sign up, okay? And you guys are probably fine with the Universal Analytics because you're already using it at a higher level. You just haven't used it on your own sites before. The Classic would probably be even simpler. I mean, you know, but it depends on what you're going to want to do. And you're learning in Megan's course all the different ways you can use the data and manipulate it. And so I'm just going to stick with website for Universal, and I'm going to name it Comp 5062/5055 because I have both courses now. Test account. Okay, I'm going to call it sample phishing site because that's what I was doing in the last video. And you can actually put your domain in there. You're not going to really get any traffic in the next few weeks of this course, nor would you anyway without an actual domain, like your own domain. So you're putting your URL in there is what you're doing. So kinlandschool.com, that's the domain in this URL. You don't get your own domain, so you got to go Kinlan student, and then you got to go, I'm using his account again as the example. Let's do education if they actually have a category for education, which they don't. That's too bad. Yeah, so you could do... no, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just going to put sports because my site's supposed to be about fishing, right? And then you can actually set your time zone, which is fairly important, especially if you're going to be using AdWords in conjunction with this, because you want to know when things are happening related to certain events and when ads are going up and coming back down and billing and all that kind of stuff. And then get tracking ID. So within moments, as you're creating this, when you're doing your very first one, they're going to give you a tracking ID. They're going to make you do this whole... I just read this, by the way. I'm reading all of this. You need to read this. And then accept it. And then it takes you to the tracking ID. So this here... Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, that's right. They made that update. So it doesn't have to be in the head anymore. It can be anywhere in your code, okay, which is even easier. So I would still put anything script-based, anything connecting to a script or a CSS file, anything that's running some sort of programming or scripts on your page. If you're running a basic HTML, CSS site, I would put this in the head. So the instructions are not specifically saying that here, but I'm telling you that in our lecture on this, I want it in the head because I think it's more organized there. It just means you're going to be able to find it everywhere. So there's one account per website, and the same tracking code goes in every page. And it knows that it's on a different page, and it starts to create data based on that, as you guys have already seen. The only point of this tutorial is to get you to understand how to make it work in your own website. So you would literally take this code, and if I were to go to, let's go to our demo site, for example. I'm just going to show you where I'd put this. I would go to the index page to start with, and I want it in every page, okay? But starting on the index page, you go into code view. I'm going to go right down before the head closes, because that's just the easiest place to stick it, and just make some space, put it in, okay? 6 points on your final project. Now, what's worth a lot more than 6 points on your final project is understanding how much power you're given as a marketer with free market research data and the just enormous amount of awesome information you're going to get just by having that installed in your website. And if you're using WordPress, there's going to be a plugin for it, which you can just ask me about. And next semester we'll be doing more of that. But that's it. So once it's set up, you're on the page with the tracking code. You're going to be navigating around and whatever. Each time you go to Google Analytics now, you're going to go and it's going to look like this. If you need to get back to the tracking code, click on the account, or just click on admin. Just go to admin, have that account up, and you get the tracking info right there. Used to be kind of hard to find, actually. That is one thing that's a little easier with the new version of the platform. So are we good with this? I mean, we're going to talk a little bit more about analytics. I'm going to send you a lot of videos about little things you can do to make it work better within your site. I mean, you already have an entire course on how to use the platform, so I'm not going to get too into that. But you need to understand in my course how to make it work on your own site, and that's what we just did there. Any questions? Okay, good.